Hello and welcome to this week's podcast. My name is Dante.
And I'm Chatterbox Zombie.
It's been a couple of weeks. Each of us have been leading busy lives, and I've been traveling and doing shit. So it's getting back into the swing of things. Feels a little bit weird considering. Fuck me, what a week we've had.
Yeah.
Ignoring the US elections because that's low-hanging fruit conversation, and it's fucking dull. And the reality is, you probably heard enough of that.
Yeah, the fact that my kids at my school were excited about it meant I wasn't allowed to be.
Yeah. We have had, at least down where I live in Wellington, a fucking wild week, man. So on Monday, we were all woken up to a 7.5 earthquake. That was at midnight. It was extraordinarily sort of, in typical Wellingtonian sort of situation, kind of funny, but also terrifying. So I was lying in bed and it started shaking. I was like, it's probably about a 4. Oh, it's probably about a 6. Okay, I'll get out of fucking bed. Rolled out of bed, dove for a fucking cover, and man, I didn't sleep that night at all. Aftershocks over the 6 on the Richter scale, which are still happening. The whole week has been nothing but earthquakes for us.
Ah, that sounds fun.
Very, very unpleasant. Now, we're pretty good in Wellington. I mean, the central business district, CBD, let's call it CBD, was absolutely closed off all of Monday. Building windows had smashed. Some shit had fallen off the side of buildings and crashed into the ground below, and the cops are just like, there's no way, don't come anywhere near the CBD, otherwise you could get clobbered. But being in Wellington, we manage it pretty well. We're kind of used to these things. We've had nothing but earthquakes for fucking forever. We're right in the middle of a goddamn fault line where two bits of the earth are smashing together. Only 2 people died throughout the country through the earthquake, which is surprisingly good for a 7.5 on the Richter scale. Now, if you remember, you look back at like Haiti and shit, completely wrecked the place.
Yeah, but that's kind of because their houses, in inverted commas, aka shacks, are made of materials that are not fitting for earthquake sort of situations.
Exactly. So we have very, very stringent laws, especially in earthquake-prone areas like we have where we live. They're very, very stringent laws about how you can live and where you can live and how it's got to be built and stuff like that. So the only 2 died. One guy had his house crushed, which is really kind of disappointing. Like, his house should be able to stand up to something like that. But the other person died from a heart attack, which is probably fair because it's fucking terrifying. But yeah, so we sort of sit here all week and it's constantly shaking when you're trying to work and the whole building's wobbling and you can hear everything creaking and groaning and some of the plaster cracking and stuff like that. It's pretty unnerving. But we have to live through it, and there's a 30% chance that something over the 8 on the Richter scale will hit in the next 50 years, and that keeps rising with every one of these big earthquakes. Well, fuck.
God damn.
But you know what? It doesn't end there. You thought that was bad. That's just the warm-up. Because the very next day, we had the entire November rainfall, which is our rainiest month of the year, happen in 24 hours. So not only had we just recovered from the earthquakes, and still recovering admittedly, we then got absolutely fucking flooded. All of the streets in and out of the city became completely locked off. All of the suburbs flooded, turned into fucking swimming pools. No one could move anywhere. The building repairs weren't finished, so leaks were coming through everywhere. My mate Affian had fucking bowls and cups and everything throughout his office trying to catch all the water. It was nuts, and thousands of people got stranded. I was like, well, what a fucking week. Jesus, 2 days in a row, and it's just absolute hell. Did you think it ends there? No. Let's step it up again. After we just finished the rainfall and the rainfall had finally died down, gale force winds kicked up, and we're hitting 160k winds, which are starting to blow shit over, knock out power lines, take out trees, and smash windows. That's 100 miles an hour for those that you don't understand. It's still pissing down, it's still shaking, and we still have to go through all of this shit to get to work.
Yep.
Wow, what a fucking week. I hate this city sometimes. I only just got back from Melbourne.
Yeah, you're bitching a bit there, mate. Better stop fucking bitching. I love our Australia's response to it in the typical New Zealand-Australian relationship. You dickheads all right over there?
Yeah, they're cool.
Everything okay?
Yeah. Like, you fuckers all right? Yeah, no, we're pretty good, mate. Yeah, sweet. Just checking up. Dumb cunts.
Dumb
Thanks,
cunt.
Thanks, bro.
Gaz is on its way down to open the gate.
Yeah, so it's been one hell of a wild week, and we're only 3 days in, and I have no idea what's going to happen over the next 2 days, but I know it's going to be pissing down with rain and windy all of tomorrow as well, with southerly breezes, which means it's going to be freezing fucking cold, because fuck everything. And hopefully there's no more earthquakes, because I'm getting fucking sick of them. Sleeping is really, really hard.
Why? They're fantastic ways to rattle your central fucking nervous systems and possibly leak synovial fluid out of your fucking joints.
I was trying to explain to people that a 6 on the Richter scale for us is an aftershock. They're like, that's not an aftershock, that's a full-fledged earthquake. It's like, yeah, but a 6 is no damage. It's terrifying, but it's no damage. Everything more than that, that's when we start giving a shit. which is pretty depressing when you think about it. But yeah, anyway, on a happier note, I went to PAX Australia again this year, as I do every year, and it was just as fantastic as the previous years. They built the entire hall up way better than they have in the previous years, which meant it was so much easier to get around. The League of Legends stand, which didn't exist this year, it was just a generic arena stand where people played games on stage, was way easier to dive past, so you could still walk around everywhere, fan-fucking-tastic. The Expo Hall this year had no draw card for me. 2 years ago, there was a dickload of new games that I all wanted to play. This year, there was only Dawn of War, which had the lines fucking out the door, so I was like, there's no way I'm going to bother, I'll just get the game anyway, so who fucking cares? And I didn't give a shit about VR, because I've already got an Oculus Rift. I mean, oh my god, an HTC Vive. So, there was a nice draw.
Wow, what the fuck?
But
what was that shit?
That's me not paying attention to what I'm fucking reading off my screen.
I've already got a glass of Pepsi. I mean, Coke.
I was going to have a drink of this water to try and wake up. Oh, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, there's no caffeine in that yet.
No, I've already had caffeine, so...
Just wait till they add it to the fucking water supply.
That'd be fucking lovely, as far as I'm concerned. But I will say the tabletop area was fucking phenomenal this year. There was so much space. There was RPG games, board games, tabletop games, card games, everything sprawled out in this awesome laid out area. So getting around was perfect. We managed to play quite a few games. I picked up Force of Will, which, if you don't know, was originally anime inspired, but that's died down. They've sort of westernized it a bit. And it shows and it works fantastically. It's like Magic the Gathering, but really cheap, really easy, approachable for new players, and fucking easy to get into, and simple as shit. So if you know Magic, you could pick up Force of Will and you'd know how to play in 10 minutes. All the rules have just got different names. It's fucking great. So we're getting into it. I started playing. I got my flatmate into it. He got his boys into it. I've got my mates into it. So now there's going to be a huge, hopefully, Wellington crew playing it week in, week out. Cool. And they do official tournaments and shit. So we actually, if we do well, we might actually get to the Nationals. And if we do well at the Nationals, we can get flown overseas, which would be pretty fucking rad.
Were there Pokemon cards there?
There were Pokemon cards, yes.
Fuck yeah.
There's heaps. There's just about everything you can possibly conceive there. It's fucking fantastic. There's one called Tantalcore, which is this weird fucking weeb card game. They gave us promo cards for it, and there's a maid, and I was like, okay. And then I talked to my mate who bought some cards. I was, what's good with this? And he's like, oh, I made a whole maid deck where all of my characters are maids, and I'm like, that's pretty weeb. I'm kind of happy I went with Force of Will. Like, I got Weiss Schwartz, which I pretty much won't play anymore because Force of Will is just better. But yeah, fuck weeb card games. Weeb card games are dumb. You play them because you want to be a fucking little nerd going, oh, look at my little anime girl goes card games, which is really quite depressing. And I'm glad I got out of that fucking situation because that would be fucking bad. I'm going to keep drinking water. I don't give a fuck. Usually I mute myself, but who cares?
It's okay, man. I understand. You just like that sometimes. Because you get that. Because you need water. Because your brain is fucking frying.
Pretty much. I managed to play Trackmania for the first time in 2 years. The last time I played Trackmania was PAX 2 years ago. And I came third. I had an option for being first, but I fucked up one corner and lost it all. But that's alright because we also got to play a Crash Team Racing tournament.
Oh my god. Fucking
right?
great.
That's
what they need to be doing with the PS4, is to make a fucking HD remix of that shit.
It was such a good game. And it hasn't aged well. Every time I play it, I remember, oh, fuck, it's shaking. Hang on a sec. It's fucking nothing. Good old earthquakes. The Crash Team Racing tournament was pretty cool because they had sign-ups at 11 o'clock and game was at 1 o'clock. And we all jumped into... at 11 o'clock to sign up to see what's going to go on. There's a big queue of people. We managed to get the first 5 people, so we were definitely confirmed that we were going to play, which is great. Talking to the people there, I thought I had a pretty good chance. I had 2 older brothers. We had only 3 controllers, so playing that game was very competitive in my household, especially because we didn't have any modern consoles, so I played that game for about 5 years straight. Talking to the other people, every single one of them had the exact same story. Yep. All of them were excellent, except for one kid who was unique. When he turned up and he said, oh, yeah, no, I'm going to skip school tomorrow so I can keep playing games here all night. I'm like, hold the fuck up. Skip school tomorrow? He's like, yeah. Mum said I can skip school tomorrow so I can keep playing. I'm like, how old are you? He's like, 16. I'm like, this game is older than you. He's like, yeah, but I still play it. And I'm like, this game is older than you. Why the fuck aren't you playing Call of Duty like all your other kids? Yeah. What are you doing, you fucking weird cunt?
Like all his other kids.
Yeah, we wrecked him anyway, but I got absolutely fucking destroyed in my round because I just had really, really bad fucking luck. But that's just how it goes. Games are games.
Games are games.
Yeah, and when we usually go to this one pub every year, which is fantastic. It's the cheapest beer you can get anywhere near the events hall. For the record, Australian alcohol is ludicrously expensive. They tax that shit so fucking high. It's retarded. But we found a place and we started talking to a new owner. Guy was real cool. He's like, just opened up, owned it for about 2 or 3 weeks, trying to build up some hype for it. And I was like, do you know anything about PAX? He's like, no. But do y'all get stickers at PAX? And I was like, yeah, we do, mate. Why do you want stickers? He's like, because the toilets are just bare white walls and I hate them. So if you give me stickers, I'll look after you. So we went and got him stickers and we had discounts all weekend. Free shit all weekend. And then, to top it all off, they served tui.
Yeah, that's not an achievement, mate. It's not really that special.
Tui is one of the worst beers that is mass-produced in New Zealand. It is absolutely fucking horrific. You buy it only when you want to drink on the cheap and you don't want to drink Ranfurly, which is arguably one of the worst beers ever made.
Or DB.
Or
VB.
DB. Double browns or anything like that. They are absolutely disgusting, foul, horrible, sweet beers with absolutely no hops. They just, But who cares? I found some in Melbourne, so we bought all of their stock out and we drank it all, and the guy was laughing his fucking head off. But it got even better, because you know Gareth Hughes from the Green Party?
Is that the guy with the big dreadlocks?
No. That's like Nandel Tantros or whatever. But Gareth Hughes is like a young guy who is probably one of the... Well, I say young, he's mid-30s. Probably one of the most intelligent people in Parliament right now, because he actually understands things like technology, which is a really rare trait for a politician.
It's not... Doesn't make him intelligent. It makes him uncommon as a fucking politician.
Yeah, let's say he's basically unique in that regard. But he happened to be in PAX, so we just randomly hit him up on Facebook, like, yo, you in PAX? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, do you want a beer? He's like, yeah. Okay. So government fucking employee, government fucking politician came out and absolutely tanked with us, and then he bought us rounds, and I was like, this is great. My taxpayer money is buying me beer. This is excellent. This has never happened to me before.
It's usually the other way around.
Yeah, right? So we had a good night, and it was pretty funny. He ended up leaving. We gave him some gifts, but he thought they were a little bit too extreme, so he just left. Just a bunch of random fucking like face masks that had skulls on them and shit. It's just free shit we got from the pub. He wasn't happy. But yeah, so then we went out to the city, and it turns out there's a place that you should all go to. So every year we go back to Minotaur, which is a cool little pop culture shop. There's now a place that we never knew about called Bartronica. Bartronica, if you're in Melbourne and a gamer, you need to go to. It's like they have a fully underground pinball arcade. They have all this awesome artwork. They have all these pretty reasonable drinks for a reasonable price. Old school as fuck arcade machines. Everything's pretty cheap, and they have Super Nintendos, Nintendo 64s, Sega Mega Drives, all just on display. You can just pick up a controller and play. It was fucking awesome. So we went down there for what was meant to be one drink, and we just stayed there for an entire afternoon. It was totally worth it. I absolutely fucking love it. Excellent place. I absolutely like Melbourne. It's fucking brilliant. Highly recommend everyone go at one point in their life, because it's a great city. Although it does swing from like 30 degrees to 13 degrees overnight. It's the fucking most retarded. It's degrees Celsius, obviously, because we're civilized people and use real measurements. He said, insulting half of his audio listener base.
Yeah, you can't do that, because then the Yanks will be like, oh, that's about 3.5 inches. And for those countries that haven't put a man on the moon.
Yeah. Well, you can only stick to your past glories, like, for a small amount of time.
No.
Currently, they're not doing very well.
You can. It's okay. It's okay.
We put a man on the moon. You also put Trump in power, you dumb fucks.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm kind of glad Hillary didn't win, but then at the same time, like, oh fuck, he did.
we should skip over this part because we're not allowed to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, people have heard enough.
And we're not exactly experts on the subject.
No, but I've been following it pretty closely at work because it's fun. But anyway, I also managed to get one of our mates, Blake, or Buddha on Twitter. He managed to jump on stage in the arena to play Elder Scrolls Legends at PAX, which is it's kind of like Bethesda's answer to Hearthstone. Whereas Hearthstone was like Heroes of Warcraft, Elder Scrolls Legends is Heroes of Elder Scrolls. So it's kind of a cool card game. The only real unique sort of aspect to it, because you'd imagine it's just a fucking online card game, the only aspect is that you have two lanes. You have a shadow lane and a light lane, or it's never really clear. You have a shadow lane and a non-shadow lane, let's call it that. In the shadow lane, everything gets stealth for the first turn you play it, but it can only attack things in the shadow lane. Everything in the light lane doesn't get stealth, but can only attack things in that lane as well. So you end up with two ways. You have to defend both sides if you want to be safe. And it's kind of cool. I started playing it casually in the last couple of days, and it's really fucking fun. It is beta. There's a lot of work to be done. It's still the pay-to-accelerate sort of thing that you get in card games. So if you buy a bunch of decks, you just beat everyone else and accelerate through the ranks because no one can stop you until you get to a sort of hit-off point. But there's a lot of balancing issues right now. It is beta, but if you do want to play it, I highly recommend you pick it up. And it's actually quite a lot of fun, especially for card games and people that are bored of Hearthstone. That's my rant over. What have you done this week?
Is that your rant? Not a lot, other than, fucking terrible things that have to do with my real life. But there's been lots of gaming and awesome gaming shit that's been happening since we last have a fucking podcast. Did you know that?
Yes, there has.
What is the Nintendo Switch?
Well, there's Nintendo Switch and the Micro NES or whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about the second one, but the Nintendo Switch.
What are your thoughts on it before I start talking?
I want to know what your thoughts about.
No, I insist.
No, I insist.
No, I insist.
No, I insist.
It's a weird it's basically the Wii U toilet controller, but like, let's get more innovation! And then they make it and you're like, there's probably no reason to go that innovative. What the fuck are you doing? Just make a good console for once, you dumb fucks.
Yeah, but that's what I like about Nintendo. At least they do fucking different shit. Fucking Xbox and PS4 have been making the same console with slightly better specs for fucking 4 or 5 generations.
Yeah, I'll ignore the PS4 Pro because it's just like usual Sony wank halfway through its life cycle. Let's release a better one. But I kind of agree. It's kind of like a hard thing for me to agree on because, like, as far as I'm concerned, Nintendo Switch is a waste of fucking time, and anyone that buys it's just throwing their money down a toilet. But at the same time, I like that Nintendo does stuff. I like just the rampant innovation. Just go nuts. But
they do shit, Dante. They do shit in a fucking industry that's stagnating and rotting from the inside out. Granted, half the time it's fucking awful. Half the time it's not. And I'm happy they fucking innovate for the sake of it.
I will give credit to the Wii. The Wii was a spectacular device. I don't like it, but that's, personal preference. It's a spectacular device in the time that it came out. Let's be honest, it blew everything out of the water. Like, PlayStation tried to answer with its Move, the Microsoft tried to answer with their Kinect and stuff. It was so, holy shit, the Wii just beat the crap out of us, and it's not a very powerful console. And it looked kind of elegant, had that little funny bend that it had, the angle that it had going on. And then the Wii U happened, and everyone's like, but why? And that's kind of what I see about the Switch. They took all of the learnings from the Wii U and went, let's not pretend any of that happened and just continue doing what they were doing. And it's kind of not good.
I think it's a cool idea. I think, like most Nintendo consoles, though, lack of proper third-party and first-party gaming support and just a fucking slow-to-release library will kill it. Because at the end of the day, a console is all about the games.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to go down the path of the Vita, where the people that have it are probably really excited about it, they really love it, but it doesn't mean that the general populace loves it like they did with the Wii, which is what they need to do. They need to make something that's approachable for everyone and really simple to use and things like that, whereas this one is kind of like I hesitate to use a bit more of the an advanced or an elite console. It's a very specialized console compared to the Wii. So I could be pleasantly surprised, but I'm not holding out hope for it. I'm glad that they did it, but yeah.
Also, fucking a game that I didn't expect to like, but tried out and now it's really cool. Titanfall 2.
I was about to say something about Titanfall 2, because every single person I have listened to has said it's pretty good.
Titanfall 2 is fucking excellent. It's great.
Yeah, the single player apparently is one of the best single player campaigns that's ever come out, like Call of Duty 2 level.
Oh, it's brilliant. I fucking love it. And I was really annoyed because I'm a cynical fucking miserable prick. I love ripping shit to pieces for the sake of critical. That's a new word.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
Your boobs are ugly. That's critical. But yeah, it's fucking. I was really pissed off because a lot of the gaming review sites, they had really good reviews for storyline, but the only critique they had of it was the fucking humor with the robot is a bit dry and predictable. How many fucking stupid sci-fi stories are you watching where awesome robot level humor has become fucking generic and predictable to you, you miserable cunts?
Yeah, I guess that's as far as I'm concerned, that's good, because it's scraping the bottom of the barrel of, like, how do we criticize this? There must be something wrong with it. Oh, this thing's wrong with it. They're trying to do that usual author thing where they try and find the things they don't like and measure up to things they do like.
Yeah,
if that's the worst they've got, fucking A, it's a good
That's
game.
petty criticism, for sure.
Exactly.
I fucking love it, because you split up with your giant robot buddy who you're building this awesome relationship throughout the course of the fucking campaign. You split up from him, then you reunite, and then he's like, oh, did you miss me, buddy? And he goes, I was not shooting at you. That would be in violation of Protocol 3.
Fucking weird robot cunts.
And I'm like, I love it. It's great. And I've been playing the multiplayer a lot as well. It's a tad COD-y, but whereas COD is fucking ruled by quick reflexes and nothing else. Like, there's nothing else to go. The day I got good at COD was the day I realized, you don't aim and shoot like a regular person in that sequence. It is a single fucking mash action where mouse 1 and mouse 2 are pressed simultaneously.
Yeah.
But the mobility is fucking great. It feels frenetic and fast, and there's enough sort of abilities, like you can suddenly cloak or put up shields or whatever, depending on your class, to cancel out that fucking hectic, instantaneous death from just people who are too fast for you to handle.
Yeah, because, I mean, that was one of the things that we talked about in Titanfall 1, is when you come up against a giant robot on foot, like, how do you expect to win? But they give you these options to be able to do damage to these things, as well as sort of outmaneuver them and shit like that. It's the whole thing, is you have ridiculous maneuverability on foot, but no, like, way less health. It's kind of cool. You
can sprint and wall run and power slide, and one of the classes has a grappling hook. And the physics behind it is great, because if you shoot it and then jump and then double jump, you can sort of swing yourself and arc your momentum, and you can release it any time. And then it basically becomes Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I guess it would.
Because you're using this grapple to climb up this giant robot and get at the back of its neck, ironically, which is kind of... Wow, I just realized that.
Literally Attack on Titan.
It's fucking great. It's sci-fi Attack on Titan. It's amazing.
Yeah, so one of the best things that came out of this is what I've been following sort of vaguely while I was overseas, is that people saying they took, unlike Nintendo, where they took all their learnings and fucked it, they took all their learnings and went, how do we make this good? Like, Titanfall 1 was like Titanfall Beta. Like, once they figured those things out, they suddenly make this a phenomenally good game. Like, I thought Titanfall 1 was like, yeah, they tried to do something new, but it was so not interesting. But they've improved the movement, they've improved the classes, they've improved the gameplay, they've improved the single player, and now it's a good package, and I really want to play it.
They've added a single player.
Yeah, good point. They didn't have a single player in the first one.
Yeah.
I would love to play it, but I just can't be bothered right now. Right now I am in maximum casual mode. I'm doing a shitload of stuff at work. It's pissing me the fuck off, so all I want to do when I come home is either read a book or watch Westworld, which is a good show.
Yeah. I'm about 20 hours in. I fucking love it. I recommend anyone who's interested in that sort of good single player first person shooter campaign gives it a go. And as a shameless plug, if you go on Green Man Gaming, they have it for about $30-$40 cheaper than what it is on Origin.
Oh, that's not bad. And
the instant I press pay, they already sent me my code, so I was very happy about that.
Nice.
Yeah, fast, good service.
And other things that are surprisingly okay. I don't know if many of you noticed, remember, I pretty much boycotted everything to do with EA a long time ago, which is, it's painful because, you know, Mass Effect and Dragon Age are two of my favorite series. Dragon Age Inquisition came out, got stunning reviews, everyone loves it, but I just couldn't play it because I didn't want to go back to EA. But now EA have turned things around, as we talked about the Origin Pass. They're trying to do things properly. And then they start talking about the Mass Effect Andromeda again. So after we saw the gameplay trailer maybe about a month ago, I think it was, they now released the actual gameplay, the actual trailer for the show. Fuck me, this is going to be a long podcast. They released the actual trailer for the game. It looks good. Now, I'm not one to get hyped on trailers. They don't really interest me, but when you combo it with the way gameplay looks, you combo it with the setting, where we're the aliens now. We're invading, well, not invading, but we're going through Andromeda, the nearest nearby galaxy, and we're going to see what's there, and all of a sudden we find a shitfest of stuff fucking us up. We're the weird outcast invaders that shouldn't be there. I like that setting. I've always liked that setting. I hate being the humanity is this weak little race in the universe, and look how pathetic we are, and all the aliens hate us. Oh, we have to try and get on the council because it's so hard. Now we're like, fuck this, we're going to go to another galaxy and kick some dicks. And we lose. It's fucking excellent. So it's a desperate battle for survival as you try and find a place, presumably, for other people to live. You're called a Pathfinder. I don't really know the lore that well for Andromeda, but I would assume that you have to go find places to live, which is cool. So I might get that. And if I do, I will get Dragon Age Inquisition as well.
Cool.
I'll get back on the EA bandwagon, see what it's like, see how much has changed. It's been a long time since I played it.
And of course,
anything EA.
Do you know what happens on Friday, Dante?
Do I know what happens on Friday?
In 2 days' time.
The new Grand Tour.
Grand Tour comes out.
Yep.
Killing Floor 2 is officially released after more than a year of being in beta.
Really?
Yep.
I just assumed that would never happen.
No, it came out for beta in May last year, and is releasing on November 17th, 2016.
No shit.
But more importantly,
what?
New Pokemon.
Oh, that's right. That's why there's
fucking new Pokemon set in Hawaii, of all places. Oh,
which you're just consequently going to shortly.
What? Hawaii? Yeah, no, I don't know. I just want to go to Hawaii. I want to go to America because I feel like I should. I feel like everyone has to go to America at some point in their life. It's been built up and made like it's so important for all my life. But I don't want to go to actual America because I hate concrete.
Wow, that was a really abrupt end to a sentence. Holy shit. I want to go to America before it all turns to shit. I'm hoping to get to PAX Prime next year in Seattle, which will be a challenge. But if I can do it, that'd be fantastic. And this entire time during the podcast, I've been trying to fetch an eyelash out of my eye to no avail. This really annoys me.
But
I
yeah,
know for you.
new Pokemon. Have you seen the new final evolutions for the starters?
I legitimately don't care about Pokemon anymore.
Have you seen them?
No.
They're fucking amazing.
I
Two
tried.
out of 3 are amazing.
Well, that's usually how Pokemon goes, right?
I actually like the water starter. It's a water fairy type. It's like a seal mermaid creature.
How... genuinely, I haven't played... As we know, I'm not really proficient in Pokemon these days. How... Have they ever made a starter type a dual type? Because I don't think they have, right?
What?
See, if you say it's water fairy,
Yes.
they've only ever had water, fire, grass types as starter Pokemon, apart from the specials like Pikachu and shit like that. But going forward, have they had dual type starter Pokemon? I don't know.
Dante.
Yeah.
Gen 1, Venusaur was grass poison.
I guess I always just consider them grass. Valid point.
Yep. And then Gen 3, Blaziken was firefighting. Swampert was grass, water ground. 4th gen, there was grass, ground, firefighting, water steel. 5th gen, there was firefighting again, and water just plain. And then 6th gen, they fucking mixed it up. There was grass fighting, water dark, fire psychic. And this gen, there's fucking water fairy, fire dark, grass ghost, which is fucking awesome.
Grass Ghost, that's pretty fucking rad.
Yeah, he's super cool. He's the fan favorite for sure. He's like a creepy owl archer guy who shoots leaf feathers. But I was really happy with that because his first 2 evolutions were grass flying, which means there's a quad weakness to ice, and that fucking sucks dick. But now he's fucking grass ghost, so normal type don't even fucking affect him. It's gonna be so great.
Yeah.
So good. Pokemon's great. I like the cards too. I got them banned at my school.
Yeah, that's right. That's the last podcast we have. You got them banned. That was pretty fucking funny.
I didn't mean to. I tried to help the children. Some of them are valuable, and they just hold them with their grubby little hands.
Well, I hate to say this, Cheddar, but we got dick all time left, so we should probably talk about anime real quick.
Anime.
Yeah, that thing that neither of us have watched in about 4 weeks. But that's okay, because we can still talk about the news. Firstly, Konosuba is coming out on... Fucking what I put down. January the 11th. Konosuba is a fun show. I think I've recommended it to you. You also mistook it as another show at one point, which is pretty funny. It's a self-aware, stupid humor, interesting show. Kind of worth a watch because the characters are fucking hilarious. And
I got it confused with that steampunk zombie one.
Kabinetsu, or Kabata... What was it? Kabanetti?
Yeah, Cabernetti.
Yeah, that was a good show as well. It's like Attack on Titan, except the last 2 episodes sucked balls. But yeah, Konosuba is absolutely hysterically funny. For those of you who just want a lighthearted kind of fun thing to watch, where an RPG game sort of party go on a mission, and they're just the most retarded team ever, and it's kind of fun. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be cool to watch that next year in January. It's probably the next anime I'm going to watch, because fuck watching anime right now. And Stan Lee of Marvel fame, Marvel, not Marvel, of Marvel's fame, Stan Lee is making an anime. Like, what the fuck?
It's gonna be the best anime there is, and he's gonna be a superhero.
It legitimately is. But it's cool, though. I mean, we only just talked about last podcast how Porter Robinson and Maddie, these 2 artists, musicians, were making anime as well. So it's kind of like cool that Western audiences are now pushing into Japan, saying, hey, we could outsource our stuff to Japan and get the unique style, the unique spin on things. And also, hopefully it means that Japanese voice actors and artists actually get paid a reasonable sum. Because that's never happened. It'd be kind of nice for them to get paid.
Yeah.
It'll happen one day.
That would be good. Granted, they get paid then fucking better than Western voice actors.
Yeah, Western voice actors get pretty dicked. Well, I mean, the way to win it as a Western voice actor is to...
whore yourself out.
Not only do voice actor work and voiceovers and shit like that, but also... Like, I watch Critical Role religiously right now because I'm so fucked from work and shit like that. I just want to sit on the couch and chill out. I watch Critical Role, which is a bunch of voice actors playing D&D, and it's one of my favorite shows on YouTube right now. The episodes are really long, though, so you have to come back to them occasionally. That's a really cool way to make extra money and get some sort of people exposed to who you are. Like, I would never have known who these voice actors are. Matt Mercer, the guy that runs it, the DM, is McCree from Overwatch, for example. Which is kind of unique. You don't really realize it. And so he starts talking in his McCree voice. You're like, holy fuck, it's McCree. Holy shit, this is kind of cool. But that's not anime. We should be talking about anime. The last thing I have to talk about is Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, that's not anime either. Not anymore.
No, not anymore. And that's exactly why I wanted to bring it up. Because I watched the trailer for it. The official trailer came out, 2 days ago? Or something like that. It's not good. I mean, it's from a movie standpoint, from a visual aspect, from the way they introduce the characters and stuff like that in the trailer. It's a very short trailer, obviously. It's very interesting and in your face and very Hollywood, but still kind of has that Gits sort of dystopian future style, which is cool. But I cannot help but think, and this is reiterating the point that we made many months ago, they have cast this so horribly wrong.
Do you know what the worst thing is? They will never be able to capture that stoic, hard, steely gaze thing that the Major has with Scarlett Johansson.
No, and Scarlett Johansson in this seems like we know the Kusanagi has like lots of problems, right? She's a really fucking unique case, and she's got some real fucked up head issues. But she's still that overly elite, amazing hacker, you know, where they call her the wizard level hacker. She's fucking brilliant at what she does. In this, she seems a lot more damaged and a lot more broken. And they've followed one of the worst arcs. They could have followed the Laughing Man arc, which would have been amazing. So it's kind of... They've cast it wrong. Like Bartol. Bartol is meant to be this monster of a man who is a good hacker but kind of relies on his brute force. In this, he looks like a stumpy little fat man. It doesn't come off right. When Bartol walks in a room, he should take up most of the room. That's his whole thing.
It's really hard to get the physicality and larger-than-life sort of physical personas of characters like from an anime in real life, though. Do you know what the main thing is, though? I like Scarlett Johansson. She's a cool actress. You ever watch fucking her, just hear her voice acting, and that's amazing.
Yeah, I agree, but she's not Kusanagi.
But she's not Kusanagi. And not for what the reason you'd think. Do you know what I remember distinctly from watching Gits?
What?
I remember her standing there naked, being creepy, fucking zoning out, staring out the window, whatever. And her tits looked rock hard.
Yeah, well, it's because they are.
Because they are.
Yeah.
Like, rock hard. You could fucking stab those things, and you'd break your knife. Rock hard tits. And you look at fucking Scarlett Johansson, saggy, fleshy, normal tits.
I don't care about spoiling the show because, fuck it, it's ancient now. But
there's rock hard tits.
Well, Kusanagi has never had a mortal body. She's never had a human body. So she was born into a robotic body. So her body, as a military aspect, is completely function. There is no real need for form. So she is slender and, I would say, muscular, but, you know, obviously built because she's designed to hurt people.
What are the purpose of the rock hard tits? Are they bullet?
It's kind of, she doesn't have to have tits, but that's just how it is because, you know, whatever, it's a little bit of form, make it so she's actually reasonably okay when she dresses up. But she should be fully functional. Scarlett Johansson, let's be honest, she is not a slender war machine. She is a plump, squishy machine.
Yeah, and the tits aren't rock hard.
No. Yeah, so I like the setting. I like the way they've directed it. It looks pretty cool. I haven't seen anything to do with Tachikoma yet, which is really depressing. But I would have liked if they had cast it a little bit better.
Oh my god, Moai tanks. I forgot about them.
They're the best things ever.
That's the whole good fucking point you write skits.
Yeah, right? The Tachikoma are hilarious.
Why else are you going to watch fucking skits? The bunch of degenerate fucking least charismatic characters ever have boring conversations about pseudoscience that doesn't exist. No, you watch for fucking Moai tanks and rock hard tits.
Yeah.
And rock hard tits on Moai tanks. And Moai tanks jiggling between rock hard tits.
This is getting weird.
We watch anime for different reasons, don't we, Dante?
We do. Anyway, this has been Dante.
On Shadowbox, I'm going to need something to come down off that fucking rock hard tits high.
Jesus Christ. See you guys next week. Probably.